Welcome to my channel. It's called Lunasa. In this video, I want to do a deep dive into the writings of Florence Scovel Shinn, and in particular, let's see how she suggests how we reprogram our subconscious mind. One of the very first things Florence teaches us is that we have different levels to our mind. The conscious mind, the superconscious mind, and the subconscious mind. So, the subconscious mind is what we're concerned with right now because it's power. It's power without direction. So, we are the ones that give it instructions. We tell it what to do. All of our thoughts, they get down there and they program the subconscious mind. The problem, though, is that our conscious mind is what's often getting things down into the subconscious. And the subconscious mind is now full of what's coming from the conscious mind. But the conscious mind is full of doubt, worry, fear, anxiety, panic, limitations. And that's what's getting down there in the subconscious mind. And then that's all the subconscious mind has to work with. That's all the instructions it's getting. It's not good. And so, what Florence encourages us to do is to work with the superconscious mind, also known as the God mind, and have that be the one to start to program the subconscious mind. In fact, she starts chapter six of her book by saying that when you know the power and the workings of the mind, you strive to figure out easy and simple ways in order to reprogram the subconscious mind better. Because you want to impress it with goodness and you want to impress it with God. Now, before I speak on what Florence suggests, I'm going to introduce you to 4 or 5 ideas. First of all, you have to start to see your thoughts as separate from you. That these are your thoughts and this is you, and they're not the same thing. So often we conflate the two and we just can't imagine being without these thoughts. But once you realize that you're separate and you can start to have agency and choose which thoughts you want to think, that's going to be really powerful. The second thing is you have to stop believing your thoughts to be true. Because when you believe that it's not just a thought, it's the truth. It's not just what I believe, it's the truth. You somehow believe so deeply that you don't want to change your thoughts. You feel like you've tapped into the truth. And to feel like these thoughts could be a lie, that you could think different thoughts, it doesn't resonate with you. You so believe your thoughts that you believe them to be true, and that's why you keep thinking them. But the thoughts are so strong and you believe them to be true just because you keep thinking them often and you think them over and over. And that repetition is what you perceive as why they're true, is why you believe them, is why they're there. So simply start believing and thinking different thoughts. Don't see it as true. Don't see it as the truth that you're tapping into. See it as a thought that you're thinking. And then you have to believe that you can truly think different thoughts. I've heard it said that you should think of your thoughts like going into your closet. You have different shirts, and you can pick up a shirt and decide if you want to wear it or not. And if you don't want to wear it, you put it back. So, same for your thoughts. When you think a thought, you can evaluate it. Like you're separate from your thoughts and you can evaluate your thoughts. Think about what you're thinking about and decide, do I want this thought? Is this thought good? If and when this thought is proven true, would I like that? And if the answer is no, then you put the thought back and you stop thinking the thought and you think different thoughts. Just like you would put the shirt back if you held it up and you didn't like it. If you would put another shirt back too, if you didn't like that second shirt, and then you bring out the third shirt and that's perfect. You should have the agency to think those different thoughts, evaluate them, and if they're not working for you, if you think about what you're thinking about and you don't like it, to stop thinking that. And fourth, I think you have to, as they say, have your soul feel its worth. When you are filled with negativity, you don't feel worthy of thinking good thoughts. You don't feel worthy of good things in your life. So your soul has to feel its worth. You have to know that you deserve better, that you deserve good. And if you truly have messed up, you have to know that you deserve mercy and deserve forgiveness. Your soul, the deepest level of you, has to feel its worth, has to feel the inherent goodness deep within you. And I believe when you do all of those four things, that you'll be in a better state of mind to want to go from the conscious mind into the superconscious mind. And the fifth thing is just to start speaking differently, start to think differently. Even if you don't exactly believe it right when you start it, no matter how awkward or weird it is to start saying those things over your life, just go for it, go all in. Now let's go back to Florence. And Florence suggests one key affirmation about how to move from the conscious mind to the superconscious mind. Because, first of all, she's recognizing that it's rough. When your conscious mind has impressed all that negativity down into the subconscious mind, all the doubt, all the worry, all the fear, all the panic, all the sense of lack, all the sense of insecurity, it's going to be rough, and no ordinary affirmation is going to cut it at first. So, the most powerful affirmation she establishes is to say, I cast the burden. So, identify what's going on. You have all this doubt and worry and sense of lack. Kind of imagine it like a rock, and then you want to cast it up to God. Florence met someone who said that when things are on earth, they have a gravitational weight to them. It kind of weighs you down. But if you can get these things high enough, there's no weight to them. The higher you go, the better. So we want to cast the burden up. And as we do that, there's no weight to them, there's no gravity to them. And so Florence has this affirmation done different ways. So I cast the burden to the Christ within, and I go free. I cast the burden to the God within, and I go free. Or she'll explain a little bit about the issue. I cast this burden of lack, and I go free to have plenty. So when you do this affirmation, you're casting the burden up to God and deep within you, where the God mind is, where the Christ within you is. It's like you're getting it away from the earth with its gravity, and you're getting it up there where there's no weight to it. And you're saying to God and to the Christ within, you figure this out. Because if there is a battle to fight, you're not the one fighting it. God is. And your job, according to the Bible in Florence, is to stand still. Stand with all of your peace and your poise and your confidence. To stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Because when you have cast the burden to the Christ within, to the God within, they go to work for you and will figure this out. Florence also calls God infinite intelligence. So they will figure it out and it will work out. And your job is just to stand there and believe and see and witness the salvation. Florence says that you say this affirmation: I cast the burden to the Christ within, to the God within, over and over and over. She said it 3 times, over and over and over, maybe even for hours at a time. You keep saying this affirmation silently, audibly, but with determination. You are determined to believe this, determined to say this. And you just say it over and over and over. And that repetition starts to impress your subconscious mind with goodness, with the good, and with God. And now the subconscious mind, which is the power, now has new material to go to work. It just does what it's commanded to do. And now you have freed it of negativity and you've started to impress upon it goodness and God. This is an amazing affirmation that Florence shared. It takes a strong mind to neutralize the prophecy of evil. It takes a strong mind to go from The conscious mind, full of doubt, fear, negativity, hostility, worry, panic, limitation, and move it over into the superconscious mind and the God mind and just start thinking like God. But it's so worth it because you want to free your subconscious mind of all of that and start impressing upon it goodness and God. I do deep dives into the writings of Florence Scovel Shinn constantly. I love it. Florence was a New Thoughts writer who worked 100 years ago, and her ideas are extraordinary, they're powerful, and they're worthy of us contemplating them today. So maybe the idea is new to you, and maybe it's something you've heard before, but it's always worth it to be reminded. And so, if you love these kinds of deep dives, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. If you have a comment for me, leave it and leave a comment, and I truly will see them and reply. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you really appreciated it. And as I always say, thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.